This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good evening. Welcome to Icons and Circles. This is Consul Annette Ablan. For tonight, we have friends from Austria, but their hearts are Filipino. So we have this theme of I am Austrian, pero puso ko'y Pinoy. And we have no other than the president of the Philippine Austrian Cultural Society, Mr. Alfred Reterer, and also a very, very prominent icon in the theater scene in Austria, Mr. Christian Galilei.
Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me this evening and to talk about the different projects you have with the Philippine Austrian Culture Society. And the one that's ongoing right now is the Austrian Film Festival.
Yes, we were invited last year. Maybe we can take a look at the trailer of the Austrian Film Festival, and I will explain what it's all about.
So you were saying that
when we were invited last year in December, we talked about Typhoon Yolanda, and we were able to raise funds in those days. And you remember that we said we have to do more in 2014
for the rehabilitation
for the
and
rehabilitation
recovery.
and to enhance the livelihood of Filipinos. And this year in January, I was in Resorts World. I was invited to a very nice event which was called Do You Hear the People Sing? Organized by Resorts World Manila. The idea was there to build 200 houses in Tacloban. And by this we were motivated to do something new, and we said tourism was hit. Foreigners are not coming, they're afraid because of typhoon. We create an event which is called Austrian Film Festival, and we bring Austrian films to the Philippines and also Filipino films to Austria. This was the idea. We had the launch of the event in February, and at the first event we were able to turn over 400,000 peso.
Wonderful.
For rebuilding 2 houses in Tacloban, and now we created a cycle. You see here the Austrian ambassador with the president of Resorts World who supported this event. Now we created a cycle of 1 event every month. Every 15th of the month we will have an event in Resorts World, and the idea is to show Austrian movies and to bring Austrians here to the Philippines and bring the Philippines to Austria. It's a very simple concept, and I was lucky that Chile is a very creative guy from Austria who said, great idea, we do this together. And this was the way how we started and how we were able to create a series of events to raise funds for the Philippines.
Okay, so the video that we just showed is what Christian made for the film festival.
Exactly.
So that was actually a very interesting medium that you use, because, okay, maybe you can explain for us, Chile, yeah, how you made this video, what did you use, and your concept or your...
Yeah. So for me, as a graphic designer and video artist, I'm always working in this area between art and culture and advertising. So that's like a crossroad.
Area, art, and advertising.
And advertising. So I try always to find a mixture between different medias to explain my ideas. So I'm working in multiple layers, taking almost every media that I can grab. I don't care if it's a photo, a video, an animation, sound and music. And the goal is to tell a story. So you can also call me a storyteller.
It's multi-layered.
It's always multi-layered,
Yeah.
and I don't mind if it's on print or on video. The thing is, it has different layers, and you can see these layers, or you can feel it. That's my goal.
Okay, this is the particular style that you have developed.
That's you can say that's my style to deal with this media and also to deal with this new media.
All right. So in the trailer, I saw this. I am from Austria, pero ang puso ko'y Pinoy.
Alfred came up with this slogan, and so since both of us, we are living here in the Philippines, working here in the Philippines, we are enjoying, especially me, I'm enjoying the it's more fun in the Philippines feeling. And my wife and me arrived 2 years ago, and when we arrived here, we almost set up this kind of an internet blog to keep our families and our friends in Austria informed how our experiences are here in the Philippines.
So this is the blog that you have.
This is a blog that we have, and almost every single day we put on a new photo or some images and some graphics and some videos how our experience are.
Yeah. Do you have a video about that?
Yes, there's when I was preparing for this show, for meeting you, I was looking through these last 2 years on the blog, and there I found one of my first entrances in the blog was that the Philippines are the Austrians of Asia.
All right.
So I found we have a lot of things in common. So like losing almost every soccer game, that's
And the Filipinos losing all the basketball games.
like, yeah, and Austria is kind of landlocked, like the Philippines are locked by sea.
Okay.
And as soon as you start to talk about politicians and politics, you end up to talk about corruption. Let's say allegedly corruption. Nobody knows if it's really the truth.
All right.
And so when I went through, I also found this one video I would like to show you. That's a video I have done about my first 2 months in Manila.
So your first impressions
It
about
was the first
Philippines.
impression coming here completely freshly from Europe,
Yes.
being really overwhelmed by these friendly people here, and also overwhelmed to be in a city with 20 million people. So Vienna is, we thought we are in an international city, but Vienna has just 1.77 million inhabitants. And
1.7.
1.7.
All right.
And then I popped up here, and there are 10 times more people. And that was really, the first 2 months was just being overwhelmed. And this is a thing I really enjoy
Okay.
just to show.
So we'll show this vlog. Very impressive, modern, innovative.
Yes, you see, that's what I try to explain. Yeah, I'm playing with the medias and I'm playing with different layers. So for me, these new medias and all of these new technologies that everybody has his iPhone and the tablets and a smartphone, and it's no problem to take a picture. It's no problem to make any video. And for me, it's like playing around, like being in a playground, and you can take it and put it together and be creative in a very special way. That's I like to do this.
It's like a collage, a moving collage.
Yeah. And it's a collage, and I also try to combine entertainment with information.
Yeah, I love the music that you put together.
And that it should be entertain the viewer and the audience, but I also think that you can also transport information with this kind of media.
Right. And it has a touch of reality, but at the same time that modern, I don't know, it's very interesting. So, Alfred, you were the one who introduced me to Chile, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how close the Philippines and Austria are related. He's an Austrian artist living and working here in the Philippines. We have so many talented Filipinos living in Austria. We have Mark Akbas, who was a finalist in The Big Chance, a show similar to Voice of the Philippines.
Okay.
We have Vic Bueno, Filipino, who won musical The Show. We have John Eliasa, who is a famous producer, film producer in Austria, who does the commercial for McDonald's and Raiffeisen, one of the biggest banks in Austria. So it's really interesting to see in the 21st century how people from different countries go abroad, do their work in other countries. I mean, when you talk about Filipinos and OFWs, usually you talk about nurses. You talk about domestic helpers.
Yeah.
But actually, there are so many Filipinos abroad working professional and also in art.
Especially
I mean,
art,
if you think about Lea Salonga, she's famous all over the world. You have so many famous musicians. It's really amazing to see how international the Philippines are. And Christian Achille, how I call him, was awarded Communicator of the Year by the Austrian Public Relations Association.
Okay.
So I'm very proud that we are able to work together with him here, and that he supports the film festival with his own way of creativity.
Yeah, because Christian, or as
Chile.
people know him, Chile. How did that come about? Can I call you Chile now?
Yeah, it would be honored. Yeah, I would be honored to call Chile. The thing is, since I'm running my business, and that's almost 25 years, I just
In advertising, marketing.
in advertising, graphic design, and so I've got an education as an electrical engineer. So I started as an electrical engineer, and after I finished university and start to work, I figured out being an engineer is not the end. And I always I grew up in a sawmill, and I always played around, and I always was kind of creative, even we didn't call that creative, we just called it playing around. And so I went
the
back.
different tools around.
Yeah, there was wood around, there was the nails around, and in that time the sawmill was still driven by water. So I was building boats and sent them up to the Black Sea.
Oh, really?
That was the first thing I built. Every single day I throw 1 or 2 boats in the river, and the first thing that my parents taught me was that this river ends up in the Danube, and the Danube ends up in the Black Sea.
The Black Sea, okay.
So the thing is, in the age of 40, I drove down by boat the whole Danube for 10 days to see my fleet in the Black Sea.
Okay. So 10 days it took you.
Yeah. So
and
it was really, it's from Germany through Austria, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia,
the Eastern
Romania,
Europe.
and up to the Ukraine.
Oh.
And it was very, for me it was really like a dream out of the childhood come true, because I was always thinking about all my boats are going the same way.
Wow.
Anyway, so I was finishing, I was working as an engineer for 5 years, and then I decided to go back to university and study advertising and marketing, because that was the thing I felt that I really like to do that. And so since 25 years I have my own business making graphic design, making animations, and so the good luck was that because of my education as an electrical engineer, I never have had any fear to use the computer. For me it was just a tool. It was just a tool to, like a pencil, it was just a thing that could be used to make more interesting things. And I was always eager to play around with these things.
All right.
So, and I was always using my signature, Christian, as my logo for my company. And after a while, people started to ask me why I'm calling myself Chile.
Yes.
And I always told them I never...
You signed Christian, but it looked like Chile.
They thought it looks like Chile, and so it came up that all the people who know me from my work, from my artistic work called me Chile. So I take it as an honor to be called Chile.
Okay. And so when you met Alfred, and then you came up already with this project together, and you used the creativity of Chile in advertising for the Austrian Film
Yes.
Festival.
I personally believe that tourism is the best way to promote the country. And I don't know if you know that Bea Alonso and John Lloyd Cruz had a movie in Vienna, A Beautiful Affair. And I was walking here in the streets and suddenly everyone asked me, "Oh, Austria, it's not only Sound of Music, you also have A Beautiful Affair." And I asked, "Why A Beautiful Affair? I don't know it." I said, "Yeah, John Lloyd Cruz is filming in Vienna."
Oh.
And the same way, suddenly people called me up and said, "Alfred, you are in the Philippines. Do you know they are making the new movie there, the Born Supremacy?" So I believe...
Born Supremacy.
Yeah.
Here, the one filmed in the
Exactly.
Philippines. Yes.
It's, I think, the first movie, international movie, where you really saw the Philippines as the Philippines.
Yes.
They also recorded Platoon.
Okay.
But Platoon, when they made Platoon, it was actually a Vietnam movie.
Yes, yes.
And when you know Secretary Jimenez and his creativity, more fun in the Philippines, I really believe tourism and using movies and films to promote the country internationally, it's just the best way to do it. Culture, it's films, it's music, it's food, it's
Yes.
dancing, so many different things. I believe this is the way how to promote countries and to create bilateral relationship.
Yeah, well, people to people, face to face. That's the
Exactly.
best way. Yeah.
In politics, we have the crisis now in Europe with Ukraine and Russia. I mean, people should exchange culture, not talks or threats. I believe culture and talking is the way how to solve things.
Yeah, but I think the people, common people do that. It's the politicians
Yes.
sometimes gets everything all.
So we said we have to find a way to raise funds to help the less fortunate people in the Philippines and to bring culture to the Philippines, to bring Filipino culture to Vienna is the way. And so we came up with the idea. And Chile was the one who created our logo and also our T-shirt to promote the event. So I have a small present here for you. I hope I found the right size, but
Oh, there it
T-shirt,
is.
I hope you will join us at the next Austrian Film Festival and come in these T-shirts. It's
Okay.
very, very relaxed.
I am from Austria, pero ang puso ko'y Pinoy. That's really cute and very touching, actually. Oh, so this is your design, Chile.
That's my design, and I wanna use the opportunity to thank the guys from Wasabi Love. That's the company who printed these T-shirts.
Okay.
They are here in Manila and they did really good job. They made the T-shirt in 3 days,
Oh.
and it was a nice job and a brilliant job. And thank you very much to JP and Peter.
Actually, I see my cameraman wanting this T-shirt.
We will bring some extra T-shirts for your team.
Okay. Well, I'd like to also discuss the second half of the program the other talents of Chile, because I understand is also art director of the Brabenhof Theater in Vienna.
Yeah.
All right. Stay with us. We have more interesting discussions.